both in person and online. Same thing we talk about every week to y'all. You know the drill. We're going to call on you. We'll start with people who are here in person, then go virtual. Ask a question. At first, state your name, state your organization, ask a question, and then we'll come back to you for follow-up questions a little bit later on. I do want to point out we are chock full in the middle there of our St. Jude fundraiser for the kids of the St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. So everyone watching out there online, please dig down deep and go to supercrosslive.com/St. Jude and bid on the incredible items. The three here you see in the podium and our 250 class as well. They've all donated various plastics, clothes, autograph, race-worn gear, so many cool things. Make sure you check it out. And please remember that all that money goes to help the families and the kids at St. Jude. It pays for their travel, pays for their food, pays for their lodging, and pays for their treatment. So please bid and bid generously on the auction items, and we thank you in advance. We do have the podium here for the 450 class in Denver. Jet Lawrence, yet another win. Hunter Lawrence in second, and Jason Anderson in third. Big round of applause for these three on the podium. Jet, I'll start with you, and a bit of a softball one here. Just want to talk about the history you're making right now and how amazing it is. You just tied your fellow Australian Chad Reed for 8 wins in a rookie season. How does that feel to you as you go into the final round in Salt Lake City?
It's awesome. I mean, we always looked up to Chad when we were in Australia because he was the one legend that we had, and at the time that I knew of, because I didn't watch much, But no, it's an awesome accomplishment for me to get that 8th win in my rookie season. But then also I feel like even the bigger topic of tonight is Hunter and I going first and second, first time ever been done in the Premier class. And I'm more psyched about that, to be honest.
I was going to ask you, but I was going to let them handle that. But we'll get to that in just a second. Let's start right here, front row.
Hello? Okay. Andrea Ruggiero, Motor Now blog. Jet, did you consider settling for second to preserve your points and just be safe? And at what point did you decide to pass your brother?
Yes, it was the first thing that crossed my mind, to be honest, after I kind of felt Eli not be there anymore. Hunter was holding a really good pace. It wasn't like I was getting held up, and I mean, in a few laps he gapped me out also because I made some mistakes. So it did cross my mind for most of it just to kind of stay there. And once I got a little bit closer, I was like, it would also be nice to get the few extra points just to have that bit extra cushion for next weekend so it's not as a stressful weekend. And, yeah, it kind of just opened up pretty nicely, and with a little bit of yelling at Hunter also to kind of know I'm there and that stuff. But no, it was cool to follow him. I mean, it just felt at home almost. Felt like we were at a dog pound, just kind of logging laps. But yeah, it definitely crossed my mind quite a few times to stay behind.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. I guess similar question to Hunter. Were you, how hard were you going to race Jet, considering how important those 3 championship points are for him right now?
Yeah, I think it's pretty easy to see. I'm obviously not going to race him very hard. You know, this, even though tonight would have been awesome, it's the championship's not about me right now. You know, I'll have my time next year as well, and maybe even next weekend. So, yeah, just great night overall. Cool to lead some laps. The start was really good. That's something we've been struggling to execute in the main events in the past few weekends. So, happy to just put it together.
Haley from Race Day Live. This question's for Hunter. Hunter, you told our media team preseason that you didn't want to set firm expectations because you can set yourself up to fail. But now all that you're accomplishing in this class and now leading all these laps in the main event, has that changed? Do you have expectations now?
I mean, I wouldn't say I have expectations. It's more things I want. You know, I want to win. I want to be on the podium every weekend. The same goals I set for myself and same little checklist I made for in the 250 class. You know, I have things that I need to accomplish on the way to get to my goals and where I want to be. So, yeah, just another box ticked off tonight and you know, inching closer and just logging more data and getting ready for outdoors and next year.
Thank you.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Jet, this is for you. The only thing harder than getting a competitive advantage is keeping a competitive advantage. How do you keep improving week in and week out?
I think this late in the season, and especially, it's more so relies on track conditions to make any big improvements to keep holding it. I think the really biggest part you can really gain heaps is more so the starts. I mean, you can, especially on a track like tonight where it's pretty one-lined, there's no maximum traction where you can make up heaps of time if you have faster eye speed or anything like that, or flow the track better. I mean, it's kind of pretty limited, you could say, and it makes for close racing, but also hard to pass. So I think, yeah, the past few weeks I've just been kind of more so focusing on my starts, because a start in the main is a big thing, because it can really dictate your night how it's going to go. Either trying to fight your way back through and risk more, or being up there and being able to kind of get comfortable first and then kind of go and push. So yeah.
Jason Wygant. Got to bring your volume up.
You're on mute.
Yeah,
Jason.
you're on mute. Try and unmute.
There you go.
I muted myself instead of unmuting myself.
Gotcha now.
Yeah. Hunter, I've heard you say a few times that you're trying to build data and things like that. Just give us an idea of what that process is, that you've kind of built this to be a slow process and steadily getting better and better. What is that process for you when you say you're trying to get data and use that to build confidence?
I'm more of a rider that gets confidence and mental strength from doing the work. You know, I'm not a guy that can kind of mess around all off season and then come to round one and try and convince myself and believe I deserve to win. You know, I have to put in the laps, I have to put in the work, and to be able to go, yeah, no, I deserve to win because I've done everything possible. And that's just the same. I've been like that most of my career, and everyone's path is different. And chasing number 18 during the week and on the weekends and stuff. So it's just playing catch up from the years off of injuries, and he's, you know, the best in the world right now. So I have a great base to keep training and learning off, and just if Jet wasn't here in this class, you know, I'd probably be pretty good candidate for rookie, you know, a great rookie season. But number 18 stole that one well and truly. But yeah, I wouldn't have it any other way. You know, I've been there to help him when we're younger and stuff, and now it's the tails have turned the past, 3 odd years, and I'm chasing him, which is cool.
Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital Mix. Jason Anderson, seemed like about the first half of the main event, you were keeping toe and even maybe catching Hunter and Jet, and about halfway, it seemed like the gap got a little bigger. Did the track just break down? Did you make some mistakes? It was really hard to tell what was going on from TV.
Yeah, I think at the beginning I was able to keep pace. Like maybe I was catching them a little, but nothing too crazy. But to be honest, I just missed that rhythm section before the start straight a couple times, and kind of hit lappers in it to where I switched up my line, and there was some ruts I didn't want to triple the rhythm in, just because I felt like it could have put me in I didn't want to crash or go over the bars or anything like that. So I kind of had to double through it, and I think I lost my toe with Hunter and kind of lost sight of Jet. I think obviously we both did, but but at the beginning I felt like I was riding good, and I felt like I was able to keep pace with them. But at the same time, these boys they're getting good starts these last few rounds, and I think that's what I need to be able to make it a little harder on them.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racetracks Online. We'll stick with Hunter with this one. Obviously, second career podium. You probably hoped it would come sooner than it did this year. But how important is it that it came before the end of the season as a rookie, knowing that, again, you can build for Pro Motocross and Supercross next year?
Yeah, I mean, sure. Better late than never, right? I mean, glad to get it done in the rookie season, for sure. Would have loved it to be a little earlier, but just had to learn more, build more confidence on the bike and in myself, and work on a few things. And we had a few little setbacks, but just bounce back and keep working. And the results will be whatever it will be. Even, my riding tonight I felt was really good and has been really good the past few weekends. Just the result wasn't quite there. I was 7th for 3 weekends in a row. I was over 7th place, man. I was like, couldn't get away from it. Pumped.
And then real quick, first 450 season in Supercross, highs and lows. Was it as difficult as you thought it would be? Kind of talk us through that, your expectations of how difficult it was getting through it cleanly, which some guys struggle with.
Yeah, for sure. Flashback to Daytona, super grateful it was as I was able to come back as fast as I was. Obviously being healthy and lining up every weekend is the first big box you have to tick if you want to have a shot at a championship or, you know, be in the fight. So that's obviously got a big emphasis on it. And just being there, lining up every weekend, getting in that 20-minute moto main every Saturday night, it helps. It helps build and carries on. You know, when you're not racing, I think it's hard to keep up with the level of competition. So that's like one of the main things. And just learning how the 450 is on Supercross. You know, I didn't forget how to ride Supercross from last year. Just the bike acts different and stuff like that, and got to, you know, sack up and trust it and just go with it and learn.
Alex Gilbert.
Yeah, thanks. Alex Gobert, MotorOnline.com. Congratulations to you guys. For Jet, what was going through your mind on that final lap? Was it the points in the championship? Was it Hunter being directly behind you? Kind of take us through that part of the race.
I think, I mean, the first thing is kind of that last lap. Seeing the white flag is, okay, it's last lap. I knew Hunter was right there. It's just kind of in your head. It's like, oh, please nothing go wrong. Because, I mean, like it finished. We ended up making history tonight, and I think it's a pretty cool accomplishment. So, I mean, you obviously think of the negative first and like, oh, please don't happen. But after that, I was like, all right, let's just kind of get through it safely. Where are my safe lines that I can hit and make sure takes the risk out and that stuff. But then, going down the start straight, I was looking back, making sure Hunter was there, and I was already getting amped up.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question is for Jason. Jason, 2 podiums in a row. You've had really good rides the last 2 weeks. And, you know, you had a little bit of struggles, mid-season. Is it you getting comfortable on that new bike, or are you just finding your flow again, or is it just maybe the harder tracks that we're riding now, they're not so soft? What's came around in, 2 weekends in a row? It's been pretty solid.
Yeah, I think honestly, just after the break, I think the team came down to North Carolina or South Carolina at Club MX, and they helped me out with the motorcycle, and I think we gave our motorcycle a better chance by being able to do a little bit of testing with it on some of those softer tracks, and just me personally, I think I'm just better. I think I'm putting myself in better positions, and I think I'm racing my main events better. I feel stronger, all of the above. So, I think bike and me, and I think, just getting more comfortable with the bike. And it's the first year riding Supercross on it, so I think we still have more room to improve, and I think hopefully we try some stuff even in these last couple rounds to see if we could take on into next year.
Congrats.
Dan Beaver.
For Jet and Hunter both, can we reflect just a little bit about what it means, if anything, that of Joe's win in the 250 class? It seems like now you guys are back where you ended the Supercross season last year, with the 250s clicking really well in the 450 championship and in reach. Jet first.
Yeah, no, kind of was. I mean, like Hunter said before, better late than never. But I mean, watching Joe's an awesome rider. We would know he would win a main event eventually on the Honda, just because of his technique and how he rides a bike, and it suits the Honda, I feel like. And yeah, like we've been saying all this year, a start is such a big thing, also in the 250 class. So him executing 2 good starts in the heat and main just kind of really made his chances a lot more with getting a main event win. And we knew once he'd get out front and kind of ride like he rides, like how we know he rides, we knew that'd be a win in no time. So it's awesome for him, and I mean, and for HRC Honda too. I mean, it's an awesome thing to go us, Hunter and I 1-2, and then also Joe winning the 250. So it's red all over.
Yeah, awesome for the team, more than anything. And Joe, he's been having a bit of tough go at the start of the season and stuff, so awesome for him and just the team as well. All the guys, they work so damn hard, and their whole week and traveling all over, they're away from their families all the time and stuff like that, so it's huge. They live, eat, sleep, and breathe this sport, so it's like the ultimate thank you for all the team and those boys.
Thank you.
Let's go to the man with the numbers, Brock Bridges.
Ron Bridges, Supercross Live. Yeah, I do have some numbers. Jason Anderson, 150 start, 50th podium. That's awesome. However, you join an elite crew of riders. You're only the 5th rider ever with 150 starts and a title. Jeremy McGrath, Chad Reed, Eli Tomac, Jeff Ward being the only other riders. That's a pretty good crew there to put yourself in. Longevity and championships, that means something in this sport. So maybe kind of overlooked. Definitely some crazy good stats tonight. I appreciate you evening out my numbers on my stat page. Everything looks real nice and neat with the 150 and 50. So, man, you put yourself in a really good class of people tonight, overall, with being the 5th person to ever do that. And you have anything to say about it?
Yeah, I'm getting older, but it's really cool. You know, I see the stats that pop up every once in a while, and some of them to where I'm like creeping up there on some cool ones. You know, I think at the beginning of the year, I think I passed Stu for like the most top 5s. I think I'm at like almost to 100, which is really insane. You know, especially from where I started my career, being able to be right here, 150 starts, 50 podiums, a championship at one point in my career. It's incredible. You know, it's definitely something that I dream of, to be in this position and have this much longevity and still be up here. But at the same time, we get lost a little bit because we take it for granted and we just want more. You know, but I think that's what gets us up to those numbers. You know, I think you see it with, I mean, even look at Eli. I think Eli's over 150 now, and he's probably top 3 in all those categories. So being able to grow up with that crew and that we're still going and still putting up numbers is a really cool spot to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, you mentioned Eli Tomac, and you grew up racing with him, and Malcolm Stewart, another guy that he's kind of been in the class with this whole time. I felt like he had a good ride going. He had a couple accidents tonight. So, yeah, that's awesome, and congratulations joining that elite company tonight.
Thank you.
Scott Yarjo, Moto Now blog. Jet, 20-point lead, 1 round left. What does your week look like? Are you business as usual, starting to think about outdoors, or trying not to think about the championship?
Yeah, go back, golf, same week, starts. Maybe might go hit up James, go golfing with him, maybe get some smack talk, you know, put me under pressure a little bit, get for the Saturday. But no, same weekend going in. I think if you change anything now, that's when it can really go sideways. So no, go back same week as this week, and yeah, log some laps.
Johnny with MX Unfiltered. Hunter, this one's from you. Watching press yesterday, I could tell that something in you changed. And you had a very good heat race with Webb. How is it that you pass on a track that's as one line and slippery and hard-packed?
Yeah, you got to be really close to the guy. You see, in the heat, I made a move back on Webb, and he read it really well. So it's tough to make a pass and also make it stick. But yeah, you got to be close to the guy. You know, sometimes on a track that's really one line, you can just be on the guy, and a mistake lets an opening kind of happen, and then other times a mistake doesn't happen. So you got to make it happen yourself. But yeah, you just got to be close and try to. Sometimes you see a lot of passes slow the lap time down because it's just kind of beat the guy to a certain point in the corner, which may not necessarily get the rhythm good for that straight, but it's just to make that pass, and it definitely makes it tricky. You know, everyone up here's won a championship and races and stuff, so you're all racing the best guys with the best racecraft and all that, so it's definitely tough.
Jamie Guida, do you have a follow-up?
Yeah, I do. Jamie Guida, Vital Mac. Hunter, currently you're in 8th place overall, 5 points behind Justin Cooper, 23 down, I believe, on Ken Roxon. Do those positions matter to you very much, another position, or is it really just finishing out the season strong? Yeah, I just kind of want to know if that 1 or 2 positions means a lot.
I mean, yeah, it'd be great, but I don't live and die by it. I mean, it's Jets going in for a championship next weekend. I don't think my 9th, 8th, or 7th really matters, to be honest with you. Sure, we'd love to be higher up, but it is what it is, and just happy to be progressing and stuff.
Okay, thanks, man.
Let's finish this up with Jason Wygant.
Yeah, thanks. For Hunter and Jet, I think historically teams that have two teammates who are battling for wins, they have to be very careful to not show favoritism toward one rider or the other, the one suspension guy or the one team manager. Do you think it's actually easier on your team to have two brothers who probably are going to get along anyway? Because it's a different dynamic than probably any team has ever had at this level.
I mean, yeah, we both want to beat each other pretty badly, but we're on basically almost the identical bike. So, I mean, at the point now, it's kind of just down to the rider almost more so. And I think, Dazzy kind of helps keep us in check and make sure there's no favorites with the team. So, but I think it's cool. Obviously, I don't think many teams have had an experience of both boys being up there in the Premier class. So I think makes them sweat. And I feel bad for B-Dub running the checks out after this weekend. So it's going to hurt for him. So sorry for that. So it's like he won at what cost. So, but no, I think it's just more so awesome for the team. Just like kind of said before, all the work they've put in. Yeah, so I think it's a big thank you to them.
What do you think about that, Hunter? Just the dynamic of usually teams have to work hard to not show favoritism.
No, for sure. No, our dad's raised us our whole life to, on equal, fair bikes or whatever you want to call it in anything we did, and just, put the pressure on the athlete to make the difference. And that's just been how he's raised us. So, yeah, there's no need for that. The better athlete will win. And obviously, as of now, right now, Jet's obviously the better athlete, and he's able to do what he's doing, and I'm just trying to catch up.
All right.
But the team likes me better, just between you and me.
All right.
Got that in. Perfect. Hey, thank you so much. Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, Jason Anderson, the podium here in Denver. Big round of applause. And we got a special treat here in the press conference, breaking tradition. Before we get our 250 podium up here, I want to bring in Lars Lindstrom. Lars, make your way up here. We're going to get a few questions out of you, buddy. So, Lars, before we get to the podium, I want to get this going real quick. We don't have a ton of time. We ran over, but I do want to acknowledge just how successful this is going for you this season. I know you're proud of Jet. I know you're proud of Hunter. I know you're proud of Joe and everyone else on the team. And so I really want to ask, behind the scenes, what is this season, this winning season here, and potential rookie victory overall and all these wins, what does this mean to everyone behind the scenes at HRC, to you and your crew that works behind the scenes that we don't get to see too much?
Yeah, I mean, it means everything to the amount of time that we put in. I mean, last year we had the most incredible season, ever. It was really a dream season. So to try to top that off was going to be nearly impossible. And so making little steps, big steps like tonight, with Jet and Hunter being the first brothers and 1-2 in a 450 class, and then having Joe, win his first race with us, on the Honda team and the HRC team is really, really huge. I think, we put a lot of work in to improve the bike, like Hunter talked about in the starts and things like that. And we do the same with the 250. The 250 development is never ending. You can never have too much power on a 250. And so for us to get a whole shot, in the 250 class at altitude where it matters the most is a real testament to the work that we put in on that bike. And I think that, everyone, as we're sitting here right now, my phone is vibrating on my leg and it won't stop. So I think that kind of shows, the amount of just support and everything we have in because most of them are guys on the team riding back, and we have a big crew at home, and just want to say thanks to all of them, and both Brandon Wilson and Jeremy McGuire here, my bosses that are here. So good time to win.
It's nice when the phone is ringing and it's all good, and there's no problems. We're grooving right here.
Scott Yarja, Moto Now blog. Obviously an amazing night, but the reality is you still have a championship to win. Do you go out and celebrate tonight, or do you how do you stay focused and continue thinking about next weekend?
Yeah, I think it's kind of like Jet said. It's kind of business as usual. I mean, of course, we're going to go back to the truck and high five and feel really, really good tonight. and then wake up in the morning and realize that the job's not done. And I think that, those 3 races where we lost 21 points shows right there, that you can't be too comfortable, or like what happened last year, So we're not taking any of that for granted, and we're going to make sure that we do our best next week and try to win the race, and in the East-West Shootout too, and try to do our best in that. So. Yeah.
Oh no, Haley.
Haley from Race Day Live. Joe Shimoda coming on strong late in the season, as he typically does. It's easy to say, it could be comfortability. A big change for him this year coming to your team. But is there a change that you've seen in Joe Shimoda in recent weeks?
Honestly, not really. I mean, I think that the biggest change is just that he got a whole shot tonight. I think he's been strong all year. We didn't really get the best of starts, in the beginning of the season, which are tough to do. And maybe he's getting a little bit more used to the motorcycle and the team, but we had known Joe for so long that it was pretty comfortable right away, I thought, So his results weren't awful in the beginning. It's just that he was coming from the back, and his speed was good. So we knew that if he got a start, that he could be there. And I'm just really, really happy to see him get one tonight and then prove that, he is just as fast, if not the fastest guy.
Thank you.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. How do you keep some of these top prospects from potentially being swayed to other teams?
As far as who?
As far as Joe, Jet, Hunter.
Pay them a lot of money. It's probably the best one. No, we have Joe for another year, and then hopefully we can continue that, and then for next year, with a chance to, we're looking at his deal. But both with Hunter and Jet, we have such a good relationship with them. With them, they're really a team. They're part of the team. Darren Lawrence is a part of the team. A lot more involved than probably most fathers are, but it works. Sometimes it doesn't, but in this case, it really does. And them being able to ride a similar setting and test and get the bike better, we've just created this environment, and I think that really, really works for us. And I think that, there's no reason for, we obviously don't want to change, and I think that right now they have mutual feelings, so hopefully we can continue a relationship as long as possible, hopefully their entire career,
Jamie?
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. Lars, I want to kind of piggyback off Haley's question and stick with the 250 team, which has been a little bit up and down this season, but lately Chance and Joe, obviously with the win, are coming on strong. You mentioned Joe starts. Has there been any significant bike changes, and do you feel more comfortable maybe now with those guys going into outdoors? And also, can you confirm that Hunter is the favorite Lawrence brother?
You know what? As far as 250 and 450, there haven't been major changes this season. And even coming into the season, this is the fourth year of this generation of motorcycle, of chassis and everything. So we've been able to develop it into what it is now. And I think that, the issues that we maybe had in Supercross to make it really good, and in all of the areas, like specifically whoops and things like that, we've done a really good job of that. And like I said, on the 250, you're always searching for more power, so, and reliable power. So I think that, as far as that goes, I can't really point to one specific thing that we maybe have made, made different to make a big difference. And as far as Hunter being the favorite brother, I'm not sure, because he still leaves his food in the truck and he doesn't throw it away. And I think he does it on purpose, so yeah. Probably. But Jet might be a little bit more the favorite.
All right. Thanks, Lars.
Great question. Dan Beaver.
Dan Beaver, NBC Sports. Can you reflect on how important or how great it was to sweep all of the top spots? And does it start to feel a little bit like it did last year? And is it important to carry that momentum into the outdoor season where you guys dominated so much last year as well?
Yeah, tonight actually did feel a lot like last season. Last season, like I said, was a dream season. We won both classes multiple times, and it started becoming routine, which I always have said that I hate that, because winning is so dang hard, and especially on a 450. So we did it so much last year that we almost got a little bit jaded. So But to get that feeling back tonight and to have, all three bikes on the podium for the picture afterwards, that really, had brought me right back to last year. And to do it with Joe on the team and both brothers, 1-2 and 450, is super special, and we'll never forget that feeling.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, give it up. Lars Lindstrom, fantastic leadership, showing results. Thank you. So let's get started with the 250 portion of this post-race press conference for Denver. Joe Shimoda, first place. Levi Kitchen, second. RJ Hampshire, third. Big round of applause. Joe Shimoda, first win in a while, and I'm going to kind of continue on what I asked with Lars. And what does this mean, not just for you and your family, but for the team in general? How cool is this to give this gift to them of this win?
For sure, simply feels good. On the new team, finally got a win for me and for them. So I appreciate their work, and I want to for sure I want to get another one. But we keep working.
You're doing good. You got the right momentum. You went, I think, 4-4 or 3-3, 2-2, and now 1. So 1 left to go. Let's open it up to the room right here to our press with a microphone, and you get it, bud.
This is Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. Levi, this one's from you. I know yesterday at press, the one question that you said you did not want to answer for me was, how are you feeling? So after the weekend, I know last you had a big crash. How are you feeling?
Yeah, the only reason I said that is because I got asked that like 20 times. So, no, I mean, definitely sore. But, I mean, when I'm on the bike, like the adrenaline and stuff, I don't feel it at all, actually. So, just when I get done, when I'm breathing, it hurts a little bit, but especially at altitude. I mean, I was pretty exhausted after that main anyway, so yeah, I'm feeling good though.
Andrea Ruggiero, Moto Now blog. RJ, I think I know the answer to this, but did you consider not sending it at the end to try to get more points on Levi? And did you consider just going into the next race healthy? And yeah.
There's a few points in that main event where my brain was kind of all over the place. Like, dude, I had chaos going on behind me. Caught him a little bit, would run into a lapper, lose some time. But I was just joking with the team. I'm like, man, God puts me in these situations where it's either I'm going to make a decision, or like go for it or not go for it. And 99% of the times I'm going to go for it, and most of the time it doesn't play out. So he did that for a reason for me tonight. Yeah, if I was probably 0.2 closer that last lap, it might have got exciting. But, yeah, just it's cool heading into the last round being tied in points, and kind of winner takes all.
Scott Yarja, Moto Now blog. Levi, were you paying attention to where RJ was on the track, and was it hard to focus forward thinking about RJ behind you?
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, for me, it was pretty much a race, like, between me and him. I mean, at that point, I knew, like, obviously it would have been nice to catch Joe, but he was riding phenomenal anyway, so he was just keeping the gap the same, and I was just doing my best to keep RJ behind me at that point.
Let's go to Mitch Kendra.
Mitch Kendra from RacerX. Levi, we'll stick with you. It looked like your boot came undone there in the race. I couldn't really tell. Did you know that it happened, and kind of walk us through, like, was there any thought of stopping to buckle it, or just how much was it bothering you?
Yeah, it happened in the first turn, and the first couple laps it did run through my head. I didn't really know what to do because I skimmed the whoops early, and I felt like my boot almost came off. So I went to jumping just to make sure. I don't think it really would have came off, but it did feel pretty crazy. So after 4 or 5 laps, I pretty much forgot about it.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, Joe, we asked Lars, we even asked the Lawrence brothers earlier what it's like to win here on the Honda. Is this a big change from the beginning of the year for you, or is it just you finally got a good start? What was the difference?
Steady progress on the start, but definitely getting whole shot, leading first few laps, you can make a good gap. So that helped me a lot. And yeah, that's probably the biggest thing.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, Brent Bowser, Whiskey Throttle Media. My question's for Levi. Levi, when you came over the finish line, you looked a little frustrated. Were you frustrated with that ride that you didn't get Joe, or were you just exhausted from the race? And were you happy with your ride tonight?
Oh, I don't even know, honestly. I wasn't really frustrated, no. I don't really know what I was doing. I was probably just being dumb. I'm not really sure what I was doing.
Jamie Guida.
Jamie Guida, Vital MX. RJ, Levi, which one of you had the earlier gate pick for the main?
That was me, I think. Yeah, I had third gate pick.
Yeah.
Okay, so Levi, what was the thought on lining up right next to RJ? And RJ, how'd you feel about that?
Honestly, that was like, I didn't want to line up right next to him, honestly, just because I knew Joe was there too, and if I messed up the jump at all, I was screwed. But that's simply just there wasn't very many good gates. It was either go there or go way outside, and I would have got pushed. So I just kind of had to go there.
Okay. No issues, RJ? Didn't stress you out any?
No, I mean, my jump was good. Just, yeah, didn't get to the first turn first.
All right.
Amiya Chuno.
Hello, this is Amiya Chuno from Founder JP. And first of all, I have a question to Joe Shimoda. First of all, congratulations on your first victory in HLC. And we would like to ask you that you have updated some stuff like your physical, mental setting, and of course starts. How have you succeeded these updates, and how do you feel the effects of them?
It's kind of hard to understand. The work has been kind of the same. Like physical side, nothing different from round one. Honestly, just the starts.
So just talking about updating and what you've changed to make a difference.
Yeah,
so the start's
yeah,
primarily it. Yeah.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right, cool. Let's. What else we got? Brock Bridges, what you got for us?
Yeah, I have to revisit this real fast. Levi, you already asked about your boot thing. It was a little amazing there for a second. I don't know if that's happened. I was asking some people if that's ever happened to them. Couldn't really figure it out if that's ever happened to anybody. You said after like the fourth lap, you almost forgot about it. Was it tight? Did it feel loose? Was it, after the fourth lap, was it something that you changed mentally where you're like, oh, I can do this? Or did the boot just feel like it was fine and it was just unhooked? But just a quick follow-up on that.
Yeah, I just, after a couple laps, I just tried to focus on the race and made me pretty much forget about the boot thing.
And you didn't have to put any extra pressure on that peg or anything? It was just like business as normal?
Yeah, no, it was pretty normal.
Okay. Well, yeah, that was a big topic around those circles and texting and whatnot, so we were just curious. Thank you.
Yeah, Scott Yarja, Moto Now blog. Levi, points tied. We're going into an East-West showdown next weekend. You have your teammate Seth that's going to be racing that. Do you foresee having conversations as a team? Maybe Seth can throw a wheel in on RJ or kind of have some extra competition there to help you with the championship?
I think Seth's going to be focused on the 33 on the Triumph, so I don't think he's going to get into our business at all. So I don't know. It should be fun. I mean, for me and RJ, I think the biggest thing is just going to be like nobody's going to help us on the East Coast. If anything, it's going to hurt us. So we just got to, kind of stay away from them. I feel like it's going to be kind of important.
Johnny Hopper with MX Unfiltered. RJ, this one's for you. The whoops, what was different this weekend? You were making time on Levi by skimming him rather than jumping him. Was it something different the track crew did? I know they were slippery, but how were they different?
I was definitely making time, but these flat corners after the whoops they're not. Like, it's not good for blitzing, really. Like, it didn't matter how fast I hit those. Like, there was no pass going to happen because he was jumping and just going to the inside. The dirt was definitely different than the last few rounds. Like, it held up really well. I wish we had more tracks like this that have whoops where you can blitz the whole time, because I feel like that would have been my strong point this year. And also, it's like you got a 90 before set of whoops, which made it kind of, I wouldn't say easier, but you had to have that drive to get the kind of into them and stay on top of them, where you're losing a little bit of time going inside. So yeah, I just stuck to blitzing all day.
Brent Bowser.
Yeah, I'll follow up on that, RJ. Speaking of the whoops, and we had last week, we had a flat corner after them. We've had quite a few flat corners after the whoops. Did it make sense to go outside before them? You can get a run to skim, but did you really make up enough time to justify going outside, and where it was just easier to go inside and kind of keep your momentum going that way?
Yeah, I mean, man, there were so many other areas on the track where I was trying different things and would make up a little bit of time and here and there and just kind of ticking it off. But it came down to, like, there was only 2 spots that you could really kind of throw it in. It was after the big triple, which I couldn't get, like, close enough to him there. And then maybe the second rhythm, but we also started going inside there. Just for your answer for the whoops, it's like it didn't matter how fast I was going to blitz those. There was no way I was passing him there. So, yeah, it's one of those situations where it was a good thing I didn't have a chance to go as fast as I wanted to, because the last lap would have been exciting.
Jason Wygant.
Yeah, for both RJ and Levi, are you guys going to California this week to have hard pack and stay a little more West Coast time, or do you guys go back to Florida? Or do you want to keep the cards close to the vest and not tell the other guy?
I mean, I just told him over there. I'm going to California.
Yeah, I'm actually on a red eye back home to Florida tonight, and then after Salt Lake, I actually go to California.
What about you, Joe?
I live in California.
Thank you.
Mitch Kendra.
Hey, Mitch Kendra from Racer X. Joe, you've had an up and down season. Do you kind of feel like you rode hard and rode better other nights and you got a 4th compared to tonight when you just got a start and kind of were able to cruise with a fresh track?
So I just can't really.
Can you repeat the question, Mitch?
Yeah, I was going to say, do you feel like you rode harder and had like pushed it more on nights when you got a 4th place finish or a 3rd place finish? Like, was tonight just easier because you got a better start?
Yeah, I think personally, I feel like my riding is about the same all year. And just like 250 class, they fixed they prepped the track before the main event. So, I mean, like first few laps, like if you're up in front, like 1, 2, 3, like those guys just gets away from you like really quick. So, I mean, honestly, it's a big difference if you're in like 1st place or 2nd place, you know. So, I think this starts. It's a big thing.
Yeah, in April 2021, I think was your first win. Does it feel like, it was 3 years ago? Does it feel like it was 3 years ago? And were you ever doubting yourself that you'd get back to the center of the podium?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I was doing a lot better in outdoors, and like last time I won Supercross was that long ago. So, yeah, like I said, like steady progress. So I'm stoked on the riding, not just the result. So yeah.
Final question with Jamie Guida.
David Guida, Vital MX. RJ, you sort of touched on earlier about the chaos, I guess, at the beginning of the race. You kind of dinked the rhythm section a little bit. You had Nate Thrasher with a pretty aggressive pass or attempt. Did you just have to mentally tell yourself to calm down to get back in order?
Yeah, I mean, I think Levi had something to do with the whole Thrasher thing for sure, because that was.
Okay.
Nah, I'm just kidding. Nah, I mean, man, it was chaos back there. Like, yeah, I blitzed the whole rhythm 1 lap, got smoked another lap. Yeah, there was like I said, there were so many times that main event where I had to reset. Like, okay, let's try to get back up to him. Made a pass on Jordan, and he took all the hay bales off, or the tough blocks with him. So that, again, had to reset again. But yeah, just so many moments, and still, I mean, I felt like I rode really well, kind of the whole main event. Yeah, just the 2 guys in front of me were solid. Like, I didn't really have any big kind of gaps where, they made mistakes and I could kind of close in. So yeah, like I felt like I was a bit better, but not enough to make a pass.
All right, well, boys, thanks for making it exciting with 1 to go.
Indeed. I think he speaks for all of us. Big round of applause again. Joe Shimoda, Levi Kitchen, RJ Hampshire, well done. That'll conclude our press conference here. Post-race press conference for Denver. Thanks to our VIPs for hanging out as well. Y'all are awesome. Appreciate you. And to our press, of course. We'll catch you next round. We got another press conference coming up. Post-race press conference coming up after Salt Lake City. We'll see you there.